You'll appreciate this when you're older, they told me, and they were right, except they didn't tell me the whole truth. You see, I grew up as a skinny kid, skinny teenager, skinny young man, and I hated that. But those who were older, wiser, who had lived some life, they said, eventually, you're going to be really grateful. And they were right. But what they didn't tell me was that even skinny people gain weight. And I started experiencing that in midlife, except I wasn't gaining weight in my biceps. I was gaining weight in my midsection. And that for me was not an aspirational look. In this video, I'm going to talk about how walking has helped me control my weight, my midsection weight. I'm going to give you the walking weight loss math, and then some really surprising research about the fastest way to lose fat while walking. Hi, I'm Dave. It's important for you to know that I'm not a doctor. Nothing in this video should be taken as specific medical or health advice for you. Instead, I'm a guy who loves walking, and to help you fall in love with walking, I do a daily audio podcast, same name as this YouTube channel, Walking is Fitness, except you won't find the audio podcast on YouTube. Instead, you'll find it in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, wherever you enjoy listening to audio podcasts. Every 10-minute episode is designed to provide you with a little added motivation to get out the door and take the walk. And to keep it fun, every episode is recorded while I'm out walking. So as you're listening, it's kind of like we're taking a walk together. So when I was in my mid-40s and my weight was starting to grow, my midsection was starting to grow as I was gaining weight, I knew that I needed to do something about that. And I started running. And I was a runner for 5 years. And within a few months, that midsection weight disappeared. But here's the thing, after 5 years of running, I realized that I enjoy walking a whole lot more. So I stopped running and started walking as my primary fitness activity. And that's been going on for 13 years, and generally, I've controlled this midsection weight. Now I say generally because there have been seasons where I would not walk quite as much, maybe got a little sloppy with my eating, and as my midsection started expanding, I realized, okay, need to have a little more discipline with what I'm eating and also need to ramp up the steps. So for me, for 13 years, walking has been a really important part of controlling my weight, and especially the weight around my middle. Let me give you the weight loss math as it involves walking. Now, I'm going to be talking about averages, and of course the human body is very nuanced, and there's probably maybe one person on the planet where these averages, these numbers, work specifically as I give them. You know, generally there are all kinds of factors when it comes to losing weight. So I'm giving you these numbers, these averages, more about the context than specific math for you to lose weight. So to walk 1 mile, you burn about 100 calories. Now let's say that you added 10,000 steps to what you're currently walking. Maybe you're not walking that much, and just the going through your day, generally you might be putting in 3,000 to 4,000 steps. And let's say that you decided to ramp that up and walk an additional 10,000 steps every day. So we're talking maybe 13,000, 14,000 steps total. 100 calories per mile, 10,000 steps is about 5 miles. So those additional 10,000 steps on average are going to burn about 500 calories. Now the generally accepted math for losing a pound is to have a calorie deficit of about 3,500. So 500 steps for those additional 10,000 steps, it'd take about a week to reach that 3,500 calorie deficit. So again, in this average weight loss math, you lose about a pound a week. So over the course of a year, assuming you make no other changes, we're not making any changes, you're not eating more, you're not eating less, You're not changing what you're eating. We're talking about 50 pounds over the course of a year. If you bump up by 10,000 steps, how much you're walking every day. So that's generally the weight loss math involving walking. But here's the surprising research. And this actually feels very counterintuitive, especially since I mentioned that when I decided to get serious about my health and about losing weight, that I started running, and within a few months lost that weight. So it would seem to be that you need to move fast. The faster you move, the more weight you lose. Well, in 2022, research that was published in the journal Nutrients actually turned that on its head. They looked at women between the ages of 50 and 70, and these women they divided into two groups: those who walked fast, that's about 4 miles an hour, and those who walked slow at about 3 miles an hour. Now, to be clear, 3 miles an hour is not the speed that you're walking through the grocery store. It's not even the speed that I'm moving right now. I'm walking less than 3 miles an hour. So 3 miles an hour is not super slow, but most of us, once we get a little fitness capacity, once we start moving, get used to it, we can reach 3 miles an hour. Those who walked slower at 3 miles an hour actually lost fat faster. At the 30-week mark, the slower group, actually started losing the fat. The faster group at 30 weeks had not yet begun to lose the fat. Huge headlines. Walk slower to lose fat faster. And you might be wondering, what is that all about? How does that work? Well, it actually involves heart rate zones. So when you're walking slower, you're in heart rate zone 2, which is using fat as fuel. As you pick up the pace and you move from heart rate zone 2 to heart rate zone 3, that shifts from burning fat as fuel to burning carbs as fuel. So that's the science, as I understand it, behind this kind of mind-blowing, surprising research that you want to lose fat faster? Walk slower. But here's the thing. Even though walking can be an incredibly effective tool to help you lose and control weight, I believe strongly that losing weight should not be your primary objective when it comes to walking. And if you want to understand my thinking behind that, check out this video.